international and regional levels, such as the ICCPR, the ICRC, the European Convention on Human Rights, the European Framework Convention on the Protection of National Minorities, and the European Charter on National and Minority Languages. Most of these instruments are self-executing, which means that every citizen can invoke them in front of the administration and the judge and request the application of these standards in its own individual case. With reference to draft recommendation 26, the Swiss Federal Constitution enshrines that the Confederation shall support the plurilingual cantons in the fulfillment of the special duties, meaning also to support them financially. Switzerland is composed of 4 languages: German, spoken by 63.7%, French, spoken by 20.4%, Italian, spoken by 6.5%, and Romansh, spoken by 0.5%. The status of the Romansh has been enhanced to that of a partially official language. That means that when the authorities are dealing with the Romansh people, Romansh is also regarded as an official language of the Confederation. Therefore, the federal authorities have a duty to support measures to maintain and promote the minority languages, such as Romansh and Italian. For example, the Swiss Confederation and the Swiss Canton of Prisons offer annual grants to the Lia Romancia, which is an umbrella organization for all associations dealing with the protection and promotion of the Romansh language and culture. In 2004, the earmarked payment totaled 4.5 million. In addition to the annual lump sum allocation, the federal authorities can make additional payments for projects in support of the Romansh language and culture. Furthermore, Switzerland offers annual grants to 2 foundations for the Swiss Roma, which call themselves Jenisch in Switzerland. With reference to draft recommendation 36, according to the Swiss Federal Constitution and the Swiss Federal Radio and Television Law, it is part of the mission of the electronic media to give due consideration to the diversity of the country and its people. The Swiss Radio and Television Company, as a presenter of national programs and programs for the language region, has a duty to broadcast its own radio and television programs in all of the national languages, which expressly includes Romansh. Furthermore, the federal and cantonal authorities have both contributed funding towards the setting up of a Romansh news agency, whose role is to guarantee the expansion of top-quality, up-to-date offerings in the Romansh language media. There also exists a webpage in the Romansh language. Thank you, Madam President.
Merci. Je donne la parole à Al-Hawaz Studies Center.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, as a minority human rights activist on behalf of Ahwazi Arab ethnic minority in Iran, I would like to thank you and the Human Rights Council for giving me this opportunity. 20 years after the adoption of the declaration, as a field activist, I can say that there are no minority protection rights for Ahwazi Arabs in Iran. Ahwazi Arabs cannot study their language, cannot exercise their cultural and social rights, and in need of Persian translator to go to court in their own land. Arabs in Iran, who comprise 8 to 10% of population, are deprived of their basic human rights. For instance, according to former Special Rapporteur for Adequate Housing, Milan Katouri, most Ahwazi Arab villages do not have access to running water, electricity, or education, and children have to travel sometimes tens of kilometers to attend school. The illiteracy rate among Awazi Arabs 4 times more than national average, and employment is 6 times of the national average. Awazi Arabs are an indigenous, ethnic, national, and linguistic minority. Awazi Arabs have not been allowed to participate in running their own affairs. It does not have a true local or national representation. We are deprived of our cultural, economic, social, and political rights. There is no public mention of Awazi Arabs in the media, the Khuzestan province's political, military, and security authorities, mayors, and governors have consistently been appointed from non-Arabs, which is a very important point. Persian language is the sole official language, therefore denying the linguistic rights of Arabs of their mother tongue. Awazi Arabs have been subjected to forced population transfer and replaced with non-Arab settlers, a policy designed to change the ethnic structure and racial mix of Khuzestan. As a recommendation, we recommend that Dr. Ahmed Shahid, Special Rapporteur in Human Rights of Iran, be allowed to visit the Arab and other minority areas of Iran, that a portion of the oil revenue be allocated to the development of the area. Thank you very much.
Merci. Je donne la parole à the Global People of Champa Descent Organization.
Уважаемые представительницы, уважаемые участники сессии, спасибо представителю слова. Мы выступаем имени Чамского происхождения. Лица Чам происхождения один из древних народов Вьетнама, Камбоджи, общечисленного которого составляет около 1 миллион человек. До сегодня мы сохраняем язык, самобыт культуры, признание одобрения Генеральной Ассамблеи ООН Декларации прав лица, принадлежащее меньшинство через 20 лет после его принятия в 1992 году, стало историей события достижения лиц принадлежения меньшинства, борьба за права и на международном уровне. Мы выражение признательности Вьетнаму, а также Камбодже за их проявленную политическую волю признания Декларации права меньшинства. Мы приветствуем климат межкультуры, гармония, уважения, понимания, господствующий сегодня в Камбодже и Вьетнаме. И сейчас мы искренне надеемся, Вьетнам, также Камбоджа, законство будет способствовать защите права национального меньшинства, созданию условий устроя развития. Необходимо также учитывать, что во многих западных странах система законодательства защиты права лиц принадлежащих меньшинства опирается от многих лет, 10 лет, и развитию традиционной политической самоорганизации национальной культуры расовых других групп. Вьетнам, а также Камбоджа, как самостоятельное многонациональное государство, необходимо не только специальное законодательство права лиц принадлежащих меньшинства, но гарантировать его соблюдение. Тем не менее, обзор ситуации лицам принадлежащим меньшинствам в мире, подготовление независимым экспертом вопросов меньшинства, говорит общее положение лиц принадлежащих меньшинства в собрании мира. Достижение прогресса сохраняя новые проблемы, роль декларации их решения. Мы можем подписать под каждым из них вывод этого глобального исследования. Все эти выводы Aktaun lis Jampa Prais Korea Pam Semiru. Delianat eta nekonstansia fakta. Prisnap jest Vice Nasional Europnya, через признание права реализация декларации прав меньшинства. Спасибо, внимательно.
Members are not readily recognized in everyday life. They do not belong to any social segment and do not live in segregated areas. Although both subgroups of Austrian Roma, the smaller group of often of Austrian Roma as well as the postal immigrants from the CE countries, both share the same historical and cultural traditions as the Roma population of Eastern and Central Europe. They have both become integral parts of Austrian society in stark contrast to the situation in some of Austria's neighboring countries. Several reasons can be identified for this. In accordance with Article 1, 2.37 of the Declaration, Austria was one of the first countries to recognize the Roma in 1993 as an official minority. Austria created a representative for the Roma within its political framework, the so-called Hessian Advisory Board with the Austrian Chancellery. Cultural, social, and educational questions are negotiated through its elected chairman, Professor Rudolf Schardt, today here present. In accordance with Article 4.4, programs to raise the general awareness of the special situation of Austrian Roma have been implemented into teacher training mechanisms. Where necessary, Austria has taken steps to overcome historical marginalization of Roma populations. This was especially the case in the eastern province of Morgenthau, annexed to Austria in 1921 and exhibiting the typical social structures of many CE countries with strong ethnic segregation and economic marginalization of Roma populations. Roma, Morgenthau were in 1980 economically marginalized and heavily discriminated by the local educational system, resulting in near illiteracy of most of its members. The introduction of the special educational program and the funding of extramural supplementary